Hello. So here's another one of my ski area reviews. Today I'm doing Arapahoe Basin. This is in Colorado, outside of Silverthorne, near Keystone, near Loveland on 6. It's probably my favorite place of all to ski. Although sometimes I don't think of it that way because it's like vast and amazing. It doesn't have all the glitz and glamour of some of the other places like Vail, Breckenridge, or some of the other Whistler, etc. But it's so good. It's such a pure skiers, or I could say sliders mountain. You when you're there, you just want to do your thing. You're not interested in a lot of other stuff. Although I am, because I do enjoy some of the food there that I can only get there, and the ambiance, if you wouldn't mind me using that terminology. So it's where is this beautiful mountain, Arapahoe Basin? So it's an hour, 38 minutes from Denver. Let's see if I get rid of this. Oops, get rid of all this stuff. There you go. So it's near a lot of other ski areas. I mean, it's very close to Keystone, like I said, near Silverthorne. It's close to Keystone. It's close to Loveland. I'm going to go back and I'm just going to do a quick search for it again because I want to get here we go. Arapahoe Basin. There you go. It's nicer when yeah, here it is. This is what I wanted, a nice map that shows you its location in relation to some of the other local mountains. So this is actually, as it's called, Grand Army of the Republic Highway, or 6. So if you're coming from Denver, one thing you can do is you could either go through Silverthorne, or you can get off. So you can go to 70 and then go up to Silverthorne and come back around this way, or you can get off here and take 6 up. And this is an interesting highway because it's pretty hairy at times. I mean, you'll be passing Loveland. I mean, you can go do both of these, but it gets pretty hairy and it gets icy too. So if you have fear of heights, you might want to consider not going this way. So here's a little video that I took driving. So look at that. I mean, that's like being on Mars, driving the road on 6. This is going from, I believe, going from Loveland area towards Arapahoe Basin. Beautiful. Look at that nature. But again, if you're worried about heights, especially in those days when it's icy, it gets a little scary, right? Because you don't want to go off the road over here. A lot of people do ski here, though, in this area. They'll just like leave their car somewhere because look at that nice snow. Oh God, it's so beautiful. You want to be able to go ski there. Some other pictures as well. Let's see. This is me, old guy standing, always in my short sleeve shirt, though. That's funny. Always in my short sleeve shirt, standing in that area there around 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 this Route 6. So you can see how it gets, there's a lot of snow melt. So especially later in the season, you get a lot of ice here, especially early in the morning. So you gotta really know what you're doing when you drive these areas. It's not for the faint of heart. Okay, let's go back to Arapahoe Basin itself. So let me get to, so this is actually a picture from the main lodge where there's outdoor seating and you can see some of the nice runs right over here. And we have the Black Mountain Express. That's essentially the primary way of getting up to the mountain, although there are other areas as well. And I'll go over those with the maps, with the trail map. So you can see it's not that far away. Again, you got to keep in mind that I-70 is like a parking lot often. So you got to take that with a grain of salt when I say, yeah, it's not that hard to get there. Okay, but in some ways it is. All right, let's look at see if I can find a nice trail map. All right, so this is the front side here. So you have parking. If you go, it's called early riser. So if you're there early, you get to park right here, and you're right next to the lodge. So I park here. If you come in later, you'll start moving outwards like high noon, last chance, upper last chance. And then you can walk through. There's a tunnel here, the pedestrian tunnel that takes you basically right to the lodge. It's not bad. And I don't recall if there are shuttles here. I can't remember that. I don't, because I've never taken them. If there are, there may be. But there's also a bus that comes from Silverthorne. So if you're staying at one of the locations around Keystone, you can just take a bus here. And there are buses coming from Denver as well. So it's pretty easy to get here. All right, so I'm going to go over this. I love this mountain, so I've done a lot of it. I've been here more than probably any other place in the West, so I can talk a lot about it, give you a good representation. So if you're a beginner, you have this tiny lift here and Molly Hogan. It's like any learner area. It's small and it's just perfect when you're starting. Going up from there, you have some greens like Sundance and Wrangler. You actually have trails through the woods that are green. And you also have these little areas that, kids or adults who like to just go through the woods can explore some of the, some of the wonders of nature, right? And there's like little trails through the woods here, right? Weasel Way, uh, Lynx Lane. So you can actually do some tree skiing. I actually took a test here, a level CS1, Child Specialist 1 test, and we did like a lot of fun stuff through these woods here. And for somebody who like me who is relatively new to skiing, I mean, I started about I don't know 12 years ago or so now, something like that. Uh, Going through woods as an older adult is a little tricky, but when you're with the right people, it makes it a lot easier. So this green area, if you just stay in this green area here, if you're a beginnerish type skier, you can have a lot of fun. High noon is a good cruising, a place where you can just like rip it going down. Again, because this is a lower part of the mountain, you're going to have people who are of all ability levels in these areas. So you can have like beginners in the Blue Trail, etc. So you got to be careful. I found this one little, let me see where it is, exactly where it is. I think it's called the North Fork, right? I think this is, oh no, there's a Chisholm. No, it's a North Fork. North Fork. Yeah, I just want to be clear on that I'm on the right one. Yeah, it's a little area that cuts through, it's like a little, almost like a little cavern that cuts through the mountain filled with moguls. And that's actually a fun place. I mean, the moguls can be pretty gnarly looking there, but it's a good place to practice. Even somebody like me who had not done moguls, and I did it over there, I made it through and it took me forever, but I made it through the first time, and that was so cool. Yeah, this is it right here. Let me just make sure it's the right place. Yeah, that's it. If I'm wrong, I mean, somebody can correct me, but right around here you also have some woods trails, right? So stuff that you can do for fun over there. All right, next thing that I usually do is I'll go up the Lenawee Express. So here on your left, you have these areas where people are hiking. So you can always see people hiking up here and skiing into these little areas like Willie's Wide, North Pole, Snorkel Nose. It's pretty cool. You know why they call it Snorkel Nose? It's probably because of the deep powder you can get over there. But once you get up to the top of this lift, now it's starting to get more serious. Okay, so it's getting steeper. It's not as steep as the Beavers, which I'll talk about in a second, but it's getting steep and it's all white. There's no trees over here. You're above tree line. So one of the interesting things is if it starts snowing and you're above tree line, I've had this problem in several different places, and it's really tough. Maybe some of you are better at it than I am, but I lose my ability, my orientation when it's all white everywhere, and it makes it kind of scary for me. So I would say if it's snowing, I'd stay down below here where there's trees. Because once you're up there, it's just really hard to tell what's ground and what's sky. Hamburg, Lenawee Face, Powerline, these are all nice and steep areas. Some of them are less steep than others, like going Drakeham's Gulch down here. It's just a wide place to cruise and have fun. If you go Hamburg to Drakeham's Gulch, you're just gonna have a nice time. You can go pretty fast here too. Of course, you can go down Lenawee's parks, it's at West Gully Dragon, and get back to the lift from there. You know, so I mean so I'll go up Black Mountain Express and then go down to Lenawee Express and work my way up here. You can also move across here and then go down Loafer. And Loafer and Davis, though they're blue, they're extremely steep blues. So I remember the first time I wanted to go down any of these trails here, I asked somebody, hey, tell me a little bit about the Beavers. It's nice. Well, warning, it's extremely steep. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, now this guy's scaring me. But he's literally talking about steep run, and they're extremely steep. And there's actually very little room at the end when you get the bottom of the steep so to get to the Beavers lift. I have never done any of these, I don't think I would enjoy it. Maybe one day, but as I'm getting older, I probably not. But these are some of the steepest terrain in all the country right here. This is the Pavelcini area. Yeah, Palavicini lift. So you can take that lift, and you can actually go on this, and I've done that before. Come up here and ski down some of these. These aren't horrible, but down here it's just like excessively steep. And if you love that stuff, you'd have a blast there. So yeah, the Beavers is just this. It's beautiful. I think I have some pictures from Beavers. Yeah. Yeah, these are all from the Beavers. Look at that beautiful snow. That's from 2 years ago. Um, Here's another one going up that Beavers lift. This is one of the I don't know which area this is, part of Davis or the other. It's probably part of Davis. Look at those views. Yeah, this is the Beavers. Beautiful snow too. When I went there the last time, it snowed a lot. As you can see, there was plenty of fresh snow. It snowed a lot the day before we went. The other part, so you have this front side and then you have the back side, which is Montezuma Bowl. I swear this is where you can get like your fill of bowl skiing. It's like, "Oh, I want to do a bowl. Okay, well, here's a nice bowl for you." There's two trails that are relatively, I mean, for that side, relatively easy, but I will warn you, I've seen more people being taken off on stretchers in Columbine than anywhere else because people think, oh, it's blue, it's not going to be any problem. Again, these are steep. They're not as steep. It's not as steep as the Beavers, but then again, you also have this giant, wide area here, and I think people just go crazy going down here, and they over judge their competence. I've been everywhere from Black Bear to Northern Sky on Go Traverse, and then I haven't really been. I don't think I've been to Teasy's Claim. I know we went to Northern Sky once, so this is actually one of these nice traverses. Again, this is a steeper area, nice traverse. But when we went down here, it was like all these moguls that were the size of old VW bugs, so it was kind of cool. And you get to the bottom here, you can go either way. Larkspur. I think that coming from Larkspur, it's a little bit trickier in this area here. It's a little narrower and requires a little more technical skiing than say if you're going down Columbine. It's pretty flat. There's an area right here between the two there's a little steep mini head wall you can go down. If you go anywhere beyond there, you have to hike back up. So you just gotta know what you're doing and judge everything pretty well. Montezuma's Revenge, I like that. But again, I've seen more people have accidents in this area because they probably just think they can do more than they're capable of doing. But you can go anywhere on the sludge here and ski down. I mean, I didn't find these particularly hard, these single black diamonds. I didn't do any of the extreme stuff. You know your competency. I know what I'm good at. And I mean, if I'm going to go down something that's so hard for me that I'm not having a good time, I'm just not going to do it. Well, unless I have to. And there have been times where I've had to do stuff like that, and then I'll do it. That's fine. But in general, I haven't had to. Yeah, so let's go look at the beavers here. So I did cover that already. Yeah, so there's a lot of people skiing in the trees here too. So as you can see, there's and important things. If you go over here and you start skiing down these steep gullies, you're gonna have to hike back. There's no other way to get back. It's just no. This is a very, very natural area, and the skiing and the riding are for people who really want to do that, and they're not interested in all the extras. However, that said, the mountain is filled with good eating options. Let's see if they have a good way to look at the dining options. The mountain trail maps, forecasts, lessons, uphill, amenities, restaurants. Yes, perfect. Lots of restaurants. They've opened some new ones since I've been there last. But my favorite is this Black Mountain Lodge. Black Mountain Lodge. Some of these other ones, Sixth Alley, that's been there, but there's some new ones that I haven't seen before, like this. What do you call this hut? Style Hang Hut. And then there's other. Some of these are located within within the base lodge, but I love the Black Mountain Lodge. I love the Black Mountain Lodge. So first of all, you have here you can see maybe you can see them. There's Adirondack chairs here on a sunny day. You can look up the mountain. You're sitting right over. Oops, we'll get to that in a second. You're sitting right over here, and you're looking up the Lenawee Express, and it's just like a blast. And more important for me is they have this bison chili or bison stew that's so delicious. I get a bowl of bison stew, sit and just watch people ski here. And by this time, maybe I'm tired and, I'm waiting for my son to come down here and we're waiting, just waiting for another burst of energy so I can go ski somewhere else. It's just like, wow, that's so great. So that's a great place to eat. The food too at the base lodge for breakfast, very, I don't even, I have a hard time explaining what Arapahoe Basin is, except to say one thing. If I were to allow a bunch of hippies to control the ski area, that's what Arapahoe Basin would be. So it's very laid back, has that nice hippie-ish vibe to it. Prices are reasonable, unlike what you'll see at like the Vail resorts. Prices are much more reasonable. The food is good. It's not necessarily like it's not vegetarian necessarily, but I mean, there's all kinds of food there. But it's just so good. They're very environmentally conscious. A lot of recycling going on. Like they don't have any for water. You don't get like a plastic cup. You just get I'm sorry, you don't get a cup, disposable cup. You get a plastic glass that you can, they'll wash and you reuse. It'll be reused. Just everything about it has a different vibe. It's so much more relaxed. And then you'll see a lot of very, very good sliders there. It is very high in altitude. If you look at the altitude here, some of these are, you're going to be over 12,000 feet. So it's an area that if you're having difficulty with altitudes, it might be hard for you. It stays open late. I mean, into June. Uh, the latest I've ever skied there was the first day of May 1st. And I remember it was not extremely warm, but it was warmer. And when you're up there on a warmer day with the sun blasting on you, it gets pretty hot. So you need to take care of yourself in terms of hydration when you're skiing at this altitude. So that's why there's water everywhere. So just drink a lot of water and get something for hydration and stay well fed. It's if you haven't gone here and you want to do something different, this is the place to go. All right, let's look at ticket prices. So, I'm going to go Mountain Cams and ticket prices. Let's see. Okay, ticket prices. So here we are for today is the 12th. So reasonable. I mean, even in the holiday week, 152. That's not that bad compared to what you'll see at some of the other local resorts. We saw Breckenridge was over 200. So you're saving about $50 skiing here, buying in advance, right? I mean, like, see, if you go today and you're buying today, it's $109. If you buy in advance, you're starting to save money. So I would do that for sure. It's also an icon pass, and you get I think you get five, maybe seven, depending on which icon pass you have. Like if you get the full pass, maybe you get a couple more, but you get five with the icon pass. Okay, let's look at the mountain cams. So I'm having a blast here. So this was from one of the mountain cams, but it's a static picture. So let's see if we can find a fresh mountain cam. Mountain cams, here we are. All right. So there's some statics as well. They always have this like, how much snow did we? So right now it doesn't look like there was a lot of new snow. So this is a static picture. It looks pretty. It's sunny. And look, people are skiing down here already. I love it. Let's go here. Oh, you can see this lift. This is the which lift was that? That was the Black Mountain Express. No, it's not that. I think that's actually the Lenawee Express. Yeah. The Lenawee, I think this is the Lenawee Express. Yeah. Hmm. I think it is because I can see the mountain, the wall is right here. All right. One of the things about the Lenawee Express, part of it, when it crosses over Drakeham's Gulch, it is high. I mean, you're up there really, really high. So if you're not a fan of heights, this is one you want to keep your eyes closed. I've been on some scary ones before where I just like, keep my eyes closed. My son's waving, hey, wave at everyone. I'm like, just stop. I don't want to be moving so much. That one, it doesn't bother me. Let's look at another live cam. Oh, this is from the base, and there's that little learning area. Oh no, no, is this the? Yeah, here's the base. I think that's the learning area. Yeah, the little bunny area. Oh no, here's the. Yeah, no, I think this is the bunny area because there is a lift going up there. It's very, very shallow. So can we move this around? I guess not. Maybe they can. But there you go. Oh, a couple other things that you should know about Arapahoe Basin. One reason people love this place is this area here called the beach. This is uh should be on a skier's bucket list. Although if you're not a beer drinker or a partier, maybe it doesn't really matter for you. But people get spots over here. They have picnics, picnic tables, tents, drink a lot of beer and eat a lot of food and watch people ski. So this is a famous area, generally proclaimed to be on one of the on every skier's bucket list. You got to go to the beach. Like I said, I prefer being up here at Black Mountain. I like it even more. But hey, if you want to do that, more power to you. So that's my little review of Arapahoe Basin, where the airplanes seem like they're really low when they're flying over here. And I strongly, strongly recommend going there. If you really, really, really like skiing or snowboarding, you gotta go there. This has got to be a place on your list. You won't regret it. All right, well, have a great day, and I wish you the best, everybody. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so I can keep on making beautiful videos for you. Bye.